Hello again everyone, and we're here again today on Emain Macha, Navan Fort, and you can see the hill behind me here. And our previous video was also here, but that's different from today. Our previous videos dealt with the history, the archaeology and the mythology associated with Navan Fort behind me here. Today is different because today we're all about energy and the energy of this place here. Because when you enter here, when you walk on this land, you know you have entered a different place, a different energy vibration. And that is simply because Emain Macha, like all such places in Ireland, in pre-Christian Ireland, is on one of the earth's natural energy lines running through here. And how well the ancient cultures knew all about those energy lines. And the energy flowing through here is flowing from Donegal right down through here on to Stonehenge, the south of England, and then on into Egypt and the pyramids. And there is a link between us and the land. The emotional memories of all that has happened. Trauma, war, famine, conquest, colonisation, evictions, suppression of the soul by the church, betrayal and abuse by both church and state. All of these emotions of pain, fear, anger and resentment are absorbed into the land. And as shamanism teaches us, all are held in the stones, in the trees, in the rivers, in the mountains and lakes, for those of us who are willing and eager to listen and learn. In my previous videos and in my book about the magic and the significance of numbers, I have shown how the number 8 is the dominant number, the figure 8, the only number that is totally enclosed. There's no opening there. And I showed you how when you impose the number 8 on any other number, the number 8 still dominates. They all disappear under the number 8. The number 8 dominates. And if you impose any other number on top of the 8 still dominates from underneath. So the 8 is always dominant. And why? That's because it is the infinity sign, the Lemniscate, the one great flow of energy, with everything, absolutely everything, incorporated within it. And how well ancient cultures and ancient peoples knew about the power and the dominance of the Lemniscate. The figure 8. The birds fly in the figure 8 in their murmurings. So Emain Macha, being a ritual ceremonial site, and like all pre-Christian sites, Emain Macha was built on the natural energy lines, the natural ley lines of our earth. And like all such sites, there is the figure 8 on top of that mound. The figure 8 shaped enclosure on top of the mound here in Emain Macha. 2 concentric circles, which also contain within them other figures of 8 buildings. And a team of archaeologists from Queen's University are onto it. They have discovered that underneath the surface up there on the mound behind me, not so obvious on the surface itself, not as obvious as on Tara, for example, but up there just under the surface, there is the figure 8, the 2 concentric circles, the Lemniscate. And this great cosmic symbolism, and that is what it is cosmic symbolism, attached to the format and the shape of these buildings, was of extreme importance, and hence the repetitive use of that motif in their art, their jewellery and their architecture. How well the pagans knew all of this. Simply because they lived close to nature. Nature was everything for them. Their yearly calendar was built on the natural flow of the energy and on the natural happenings and unfoldings in the world around them. They saw God in everything. And to repeat, why here? Because one of the natural energy lines flows through here, right beneath our feet. So let's move on now. How did that all disappear? How did we lose our connection with all of that? The coming of Christianity. Christianity with its beliefs and teachings in a punishing, judgmental God. A male figure. Christianity that castigated and persecuted the pagans as heathens, but at the same time, and very cleverly, took over their sacred ceremonial sites and made them into their own Christian church sites, because they knew those sites were built on the natural energy lines of the earth. And of course, they took their symbols and customs as well. Go into the Vatican, and what do you see all around you? The old pagan symbols. And let us not forget, the ancient goddess Bridget, so honoured and revered by the pagans, what happened to her? What became of her under the Christians? She was made into Saint Bridget. So what does all this tell us? In my next video on the figure 8 and the Lemniscate, I'll be back again on the hill of Tara, and you will see exactly the same thing there. The figure 8, the Lemniscate on top of the sacred mound. Much more obvious in Tara. So, thank you for joining us, and we'll be with you again very shortly. And until then, namaste.